let's do that all signs reading and see what's going on for you. Oh yeah, I forgot to say on all my other videos, so whoever sees this gets to see the thing. So I've been reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho on my other channel. I took a little pause for the holidays because trying to do both channels during the holidays was like crazy. So I will get caught up with finishing that either tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, so stay tuned for that if you follow my other channel, Cool Story Bro. It's linked below. But yeah, now I'll shut up and get on with the bad sales. Let's see what your reading has in store for you. What is the current energy of the collective? May this message find who it's meant for. Okay, so we have Nephilim. Controversy, assessing new perspectives. Here's the thing about the Nephilim, right? If you know about the Nephilim and the story of like how they came about, right? So when the fallen angels came to Earth and they were like, let's just have sex with these little primates. And then they had sex with humans. Bam. Nephilim was born. These giants in the land. They were barbarians. They had no fucking sense. They were an abomination. They're essentially like Neanderthals, right? Yeah, so the Nephilim, you know, very powerful creatures, very fucking dim, you know, like not very smart. They're an abomination, right? They're a bastardization of life. And maybe that's like a fucked up thing to say, but they weren't supposed to exist, right? It's like two creatures from two different worlds coming together, and it's almost worse than bestiality, you know, because it's like interspecial from like different places altogether or whatever. But then I see Ouroboros here, right? And you can tell it looks like she's in the womb. She's got her umbilical cord, right? Ouroboros is a snake that eats itself, right? Which represents insanity, right? It also represents eternity, right? And past life shit. Your controversial thing that you're confronting is, I feel like you're learning about who you are, right? I feel like you're doing some past life regression. You might be having crazy dreams. You might be having weird deja vus. You might even have soul recollection with certain friends and stuff where you're like, I fucking knew this person in a past life. There's no doubt in that, you know? And that's controversial, right? And not everyone's gonna be like on par with that. But fuck them, you know? It's like when you know, you know. And I feel like, you know, this is broadening your perspective, too, on life and the way that things work, right? Like, I was talking to my friend yesterday, and he was like, how much could a human possibly know? You know, we base all of what we know off of what somebody tells us they know, you know? And, you know, and that's fair. That's fair. How do we know? How do we know? And I feel that, like, you know, it requires us having our own personal pursuit of the truth to get to, you know, to answers. I don't feel like there's any right way or wrong way to, like, have your spiritual journey. I hella believe in past life regression because I've done it, you know. It takes a lot of hypnotherapy and shit, but you'll get there. It's like... yeah, I feel this energy of, like, this understanding who you've been, right? And I feel like that's coming up to the surface right now. Who you've been, the story you played out in the past, the life you had in the past, people you had in your life in the past. So, let's talk about that. Who were you? Who are you now? Who are you becoming? Become another person. Alright. All right. So we have 10 of Swords in reverse, followed up by the King of Cups in reverse. I feel like you've been betrayed. Right, with the 10 of Swords in reverse. This is like recovering from betrayal or feeling defeated, feeling like somebody won over you. I hate using that term because I'm not a competitive person and I don't understand that mentality. But what I'm seeing here, though, is like you were feeling very defeated, feeling betrayed, feeling like, you know, somebody done fucked up with you. And I feel like you're healing from that, right? With the 10 of Swords in reverse, it's like rebirthing yourself, choosing to like carry on and do better for yourself, right? We have the King of Cups in reverse, and then we have the King of Swords. Interesting, because these both came up in the past reading, and I was using a different deck. Or I think I was. Fuck. I get lost on which decks I use. Whatever. King of Cups in reverse, though, is like having a change of heart, or like feeling like you're losing your feelings for somebody. Like you can no longer feel the same way about them, right? King of Swords is the energy of like, you're energetically cutting them off. You're like bringing an end to this cycle. You're just kind of like, you know what? I'm tired of like allowing this person to leave me feeling defeated and like broken and whatever, you know. Epictetus is a great example of how, you know, you should never allow your spirit to be broken by another person. People are fucked, right? Justice in reverse, Libra energy. You feel that this situation has been very unfair. You feel like there's been a lack of balance. You're struggling to find your balance, your peace after all this, right? But ultimately feeling like you faced a lot of injustice in life, and you're like, when will shit turn around, right? 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Now, don't hate me for saying this. Please don't hate me for saying this. But it's this energy of, like, you probably have had help, right? In, like, navigating life. And there's kind of, like, this fear of, like, navigating life on your own. Or, like, the fear of the unknown, right? That comes with restarting, right? 7 of Swords tells me that you've experienced a lot of lying, cheating, and stealing, right? Just very deceptive energy. You know you've been lied to. You know you've been going through the shit. And we have 8 of Wands and 10 of Pentacles. 8 of Wands is Minor Arcana Chariot card, right? And it's saying, as soon as you make the decision to start pushing your life forward and start doing new things, right? Because it's like, first you got to change up your habits, right? Or your lifestyle altogether. You want different results, you have to change everything, right? You have to change the way you speak to yourself, your mindset. You have to change, you know, like how you react to things. If you want your life to be completely different, you have to be completely different. Cause and effect. Right? 8 of Wands tells me that this will actually happen pretty quickly for you. All you have to do is make that decision in your head. Be like, I deserve better. I'm going to have better. As soon as you make that decision, shit's going to start, the ball's going to start rolling towards this 10 of Pentacles, right? 10 of Pentacles tells me that you'll be fine, right? Like, you'll be financially fine, you know, like, it's really telling you to, like, take steps towards building your foundation, right? A foundation that nobody else can shake for you, right? That's one thing I always tell my kids, you know, it's like, be independent in life so nobody can take from you, right? Nobody can take your livelihood from you. Nobody can, you know, the more that you take care of yourself, the more, you know. And that's, you know, I haven't been a prime example of that, to be honest, but I want that for my kids, you know. And I feel that, like, you know, when we live in a life where we rely so much on people. It can be detrimental when it falls apart, right? Like, I was in a relationship for like 11 years, right? I did not know life outside of that relationship. And then it was like, as soon as we broke up, then I lost my house, right? Had to change jobs, crashed my car, right? Like, everything fell apart. And I had to learn how to restart life. And so I know it's possible, even in those situations where you don't feel like it's possible to dig yourself out of hell. Sometimes it's the only option, right? Sometimes the only option is that you dig yourself out of hell and you fucking start taking accountability for your life in a whole new way, because ain't nobody there to save you. You know, like, you have to see it that way. Like, and if somebody is there helping you, saving you through a situation, it should be your first priority to reestablish your independence so that you're not repeating cycles, right? I don't care if you've been married for fucking 50 years. Having independence is important. In fact, one relationship that I think they've been married like 30-something years. One of the strongest marriages I've ever seen was this lady, Heather, and her husband, and they were like older. They're like 60-something, you know, really close to retirement age. But both of them have their own finances, right? They take care of their own bills, you know, they do their own shit. They keep money out of their relationship. And the reason their relationship is so strong is because they're both so financially independent, you know? Like, yeah, he'll take her on dates. Yeah, she'll go get him presents, whatever. But financially, they exist as two, you know, two different entities. They take care of their own finances. And I feel like that's how you should be in love, right? Where, like, both parties has a level of independence so that, like, there isn't that fear or that codependence that comes with, like, oh shit, like, I'm gonna be fucked if, like, you know, like, you should have an awareness that, like, codependency doesn't work, right? It doesn't help matters. In fact, it keeps people trapped and feeling, you know, complacent. Five of Wands in reverse. I feel like I don't want to fight no more. Every time I say that, that's what I hear. Five of Wands in reverse is like literally a refusal to fight about the same shit over and over. It's giving up the fight, right? Stop. It's like no longer fighting for this connection. No longer fighting for people that can't give a fuck. No longer fighting for shit, right? It's like just being done. Being done with the conflict. And being done, like, why should you fight? Why should your life feel like hostility? You know? I feel like you're realizing that. Yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse. You're having a complete change of heart because of what you faced, right? Because of how you've been hurt in this situation. And I feel like you're making very low-key decisions on how you're going to navigate your independence now, right? One step at a time. You might not be talking to anybody about it. You might just be plotting how you're going to achieve your independence after this. Yeah, with the Devil in reverse, I feel like you're letting go. Well, this is Capricorn energy too, but I feel like you're letting go of somebody who is deceitful, right? Somebody who lives in the lust mindset. Somebody who is, you know, prone to temptation, you know, not very strong-willed in regards to, you know, moral compass or whatever. Basically, a kind of a narcissistic, manipulative person. You're letting go of that. You're no longer allowing it to trigger you or create that fight or flight response in you, and now you're changing all how you feel about them, because you're like, wait a second, I don't deserve this, actually. There's better, right? Dude, this is hilarious. I feel like I'm just picking up from the last reading. It's very strong energy, whoever you are. King of Pentacles tells me that you will be abundant. You will be fine. Kingpin. The Kingpin is somebody who does not actually need anybody for their fulfillment in life, right? This is somebody who is able to establish themselves. Very self-made person, right? This is somebody who, you'll probably have wealth overnight, right? On some crazy idea. Whatever you're doing. But it's like saying, like, as soon as you ask the universe to open a door, the doors are open. Walk through them, you know. With the Last Judgment, all of this, you determine it, right? You determine your Ten of Pentacles, your King of Pentacles. You determine it with the decisions you make, you know. You have to make decisions for you. I feel like you've been making decisions against you because you've been allowing yourself to be kind of stuck, right? If you look at this Devil card, I see how the Devil has these people chained up to this. Like, and what's funny is, like, the chains are loose, right? Like, they could literally just, like, walk out of it, right? But it's almost like, you know, when you train a dog to constantly be in the kennel or whatever, and then one day you can put the dog in the kennel, leave the door open, and the dog will stay in there because that's what they're trained to do. The Devil trains humans in the same way, right? And this was in reverse, so this is what you're letting go of. But it's, you know, you know, it kind of does train you in the same way, to where it's like, you know, they take just this bit of freedom, this bit of freedom, this bit of freedom, until next thing you know, you're just completely stuck. And they could take the chains off you, and guess what you're going to do? You're going to stay, right? You're going to stay because you've been programmed to being enslaved, right? You've been brainwashed into it. You've been Pavlov's dogged into it. So, yeah, it's like there's a very manipulative energy here trying to keep you stuck. And I feel like it's your personal decision to break free. To no longer allow that, right? Seven of Wands in reverse tells me that your biggest fear is, like, not knowing where to go from here, right? Or, like, paths, not knowing if, like, what direction to take it. And that's where you start asking the universe to open doors, right? Write it down. Write down that you will need these doors open. I've never, ever had my manifestations fail me, right? Because I keep good intentions, for one. And for two, like, it's always, you know, I take the lesson and I am not afraid to keep trudging forward, even when shit seems futile, even if there doesn't seem to be a future. Even if I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, the universe takes care of me, you know? Fortitude. It's time to put in that hard work, that effort. Time to really, like, focus on what's important to you. What life do you want? Right? You can have any of them. That's like breaking yourself from a self-imposed prison, right? That's what I'm seeing. Like, you're breaking free from, like, this feeling of being trapped, but this prison was like a prison of your own making, right? It was a prison of your own emotions. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Finances, I feel like, are a big one. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that keeps you trapped. But with the Death card in reverse, right, Scorpio energy, I see that once you've allowed this situation to die down, right, once you've allowed something to come to an end, right, then in comes the Princess of Cups, right? And this is like a younger feminine energy, somebody who I swear to God, this is like just like the last reading I did. But, yeah, this is somebody who has a lot of emotions for you. Somebody who has a lot of love. Somebody who wants to embark on something new. Two of Cups, right? And Two of Cups means that that feeling is mutual. I feel like, you know, you might be meeting somebody who actually wants what you want. You know, somebody who's on par. But you have to allow something else to kind of like fade out, you know? Yeah, Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. This is like, it's like you will be feeling abundant and happy. This is somebody who will provide a lot of love and comfort and adoration for you. This is somebody who, I mean, not in a creepy way, but they're almost like obsessed with you, but like in a sweet way, if that makes sense. All right, it's like they have a lot of love to give. The last four cards were all cups, and it's all indicating like this rebirth after like you've gone through something very hard and very trying. Like somebody is gonna step in and like provide that. Six of Wands tells me, yeah, this is somebody who wants like a balance of like give and take with you. It's very reciprocal energy. It's like what you give, you get. What you get, you give. Like kind of energy. It's like this is somebody who definitely meets you halfway, right? Princess of Wands in reverse. Now this is the opposite of the Princess of Cups. This is like another energy or somebody, I feel like this past person that you've let go of, right? Princess of Wands in reverse is like the Princess of Lies. Like somebody who's very deceptive. Somebody who loves drama. Somebody who likes to stir the pot and like fuck shit up. Yeah, Nine of Swords. They feel personally victimized by you moving on. Even though they were never, ever... They never stopped moving on from you, right? Like, I see that with the Seven of Swords. It's like... They never, like... turned down temptation, you know? They never... And it's just kind of weird, because it's like... They don't want to see you happy. Your happiness is their misery, which is crazy because, like, if somebody gave a fuck about you, then your happiness would be everything to them. But it's almost like they're not happy if you're happy. They're only happy if you're fucking miserable. The Moon, Pisces energy, you're discovering this. This truth is coming to light where you're seeing that this person literally gets off on making you miserable, right? Or making you want to fucking, you know, die. Right? This person just wants to have you in that defeated energy, right? They feel like they have power over you that way. The Foolish Man in reverse tells me that you're going to be very, like, strategic about how you handle this situation because you don't want to do anything dumb and you don't want to, like, you don't want it to turn out worse, you know? So I feel like you're going about it really wisely. Three of Cups in reverse tells me that, like, you might be, like, you might not drink, or it's the energy of, like, you're just not in a celebratory mood, right? You don't feel like, with the Chariot in reverse, because you haven't been able to move yet, or you haven't been able to move on from this energy yet. It's like you're still very much stuck. The future has some beautiful shit for you, but it requires you unsticking yourself. All it takes is reaching out to the right people. Doors will open. So, you could even be in an abusive relationship. I mean, it is abusive. Whether it's physical or not, I feel like that's abuse. You know, the lying, cheating, stealing, bullshit. And then the energy of like somebody literally feeling miserable if you're happy and feeling happy when you're miserable. And like why would it, you know, like this person's so fucked in the head, like why would your happiness negatively affect them, right? Like it shouldn't be bad to be happy. I don't know, it's just bad. Choices. Feeling blocked and restrained. That's hilarious. That card came out too. So, this is where you have to understand that it is your choices that imprison you. Alright? Just like it will be your choices that liberate you. It all boils down to what you decide for yourself. What you feel worthy of in life. What you feel deserving of. Kama of Kali. You are being offered a spiritual gift from the Divine Mother. Your path need not be one of endless exertion. Connecting with pleasure as a path of personal empowerment, intending to bring spiritual benefit to the collective through the softening and opening of your heart, is an act of worshiping the Divine Feminine. Let yourself receive her loving gifts, right? This is entering into that energy of being receptive, right? For good shit in your life. Allow good shit to come in, right? The more you like repel good shit, the more you're telling the universe, oh, I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving of this good shit. You need to be receptive. You need to be able to take the good. Bhuvaneshwari. She is a rising sun, marking the ending of darkness and the replenishment of life force after illness or devastation. She creates a clean slate and a fresh start. She protects and preserves that which is worthy of the heart. She shines in a perpetual state of divine beauty and radiance, attracting to us the most supportive and honoring circumstances. And yes, that's pretty much what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.